All right, welcome back, guys. It is the GSL Code A round of 32. I am Doa. With me is Wolf.
I ran from the water station.
That's right. Well, it's good to have water, man. Otherwise, it's hard to cast. Your throat gets all scratchy.
Yeah, we got this stuffy nose right now because I think it's because we've been walking around in the rain for a few days.
Yeah, that can't be healthy. I don't know. It's like you can't escape from the rain though in Korea this time of year.
Yeah.
That's why we have the GAM canoe.
Yes,
we take back to the GAM house later today.
I think we need to get a kayak. It's much faster.
Maybe.
We'll have to have our own personal kayaks, but
multiple kayaks then. Where it's with the canoe, I can just get in front, you can sit in back, and we can row.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know. I've been considering the GAM kayak idea though.
What about GAM jet skis? That would be a way to get to the GAM house in style, man.
Yes, that is what we need.
I think so. You have to make it happen. I think we've got that in the budget, don't we?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Absolutely.
I think we can afford some.
Have you seen how much those players get paid?
That's right.
Get the jet skis in. Okay.
I'll drive the jet ski, and then you can be behind it on water skis. You can go over jumps and
stuff. I hate water skiing, man. I've been scared ever since I was a kid. I was like, oh, this is too scary.
I've never done it, so I'll do the water skiing if you want to drive the jet ski.
All right, that sounds good, man.
All right, well, that's how we're getting back to the GAM house.
I'll protect you, okay? Because it gets a little bit you're driving. There's cars floating through the water, and there's all these people and stuff. Yeah. I'll make sure you don't hit any of those.
Thank you.
Just get one of those bells that the people on the bikes hear. When you're a kid, you have the little tricycle that makes the little ringing bike noise thing. In Korea, actually, normal bikes have those because so many people walk on the street that you have to let people know you're coming, or else you just run them over. You need to get one of those. You put it on some headphones or something, and just go like this, so you don't have to actually hold it. I don't know though, because
you have to let go of the rope.
Yeah, you have to let go of the rope. I don't know. It's got to be part of the rope somehow. You squeeze it.
Need to get one of those air horns and have a necklace around my neck so I can just.
Or there's a button you just go like this, and then just go.
Just get a GG button and just hit it.
Or you have to do the hand signals. They have hand signals for water skiing. I guess it's
I don't know.
You go like this, it means you have to go back to the dock. If you go like this, it means you're a ballerina. If you go like this, I don't know what it means.
Well, if you do anything that involves two hands, it just means you're gonna fall off because you're not.
Maybe that's for inner tubes. I don't know.
I don't know, but whatever. Anyone out there who actually water skis is disgusted with us right now.
I don't actually know the hand signals. I'm sorry.
Look at this. Who do we have here? It is MVP TaeLS. I was talking to the MVP coach during the break, and he said TaeLS is actually pretty nervous about this. He was in GSL Code A last season, but he's worried about facing his opponent because TaeJa is such a strong Terran player. So TaeLS is actually going into this with a little bit of nerves impacting him. So it's a different kind of nerves. He's not just nervous about the experience, he's nervous about his opponent. So how much will that affect him? I don't know. We're going to find out because here he is. Here's the opponent. It's going to be Slayer's TaeJa. Very strong Terran player, but how is his TVP? That's the question.
His TVP is pretty good. So is this guitar solo.
I know, man.
Is it real though?
Yeah, it's real.
Are you sure?
Dude, I could play it.
Whenever I hear guitar solos nowadays, it reminds me of the F-Zero music. You guys know the game F-Zero?
Oh, absolutely.
It's all electronic though. I'm well, is this a real guitar or is this just synthesized?
I can tell, man.
This one isn't too ridiculous. This could be real.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you're having quest rock, but now TaeJa, I'm excited to see him here in Code A. It's about time, He's one of those players that's done well in the team league, obviously. So I'm really curious to see if he can actually make an impression in the actual GSL, Because that remains to be seen. Some players are just really good in the team league, and then not that good in the actual, one individual league. That's what I'm trying to say. So
he looks really tired.
Tired?
He yawned a lot, and he looked like he was about to fall asleep in there, man. I hope he's awake and ready.
Well, they're going to go head-to-head on these three maps. You see here in front of you, Metalopolis. Glad to see that map still around. Belshire Beach for set 2. That's always interesting in a TVP, I think. And then Daybreak for set 3. Glad we're seeing that new map get a little bit of play.
We've actually got a Protoss in every single match today for the second part.
Yeah, we do. If you're a Protoss player, this is the day to watch. If you know any Protoss players that aren't watching, tell them to turn on the GSL. Go to GOMTV.net. Follow GOMTV on Twitter.
Get on Twitter. Hashtag GSL.
Yep, that's right.
You can tweet at GOMTV, of course. You can tweet at FXOWolf, at DoaSC.
Yep. Just because it's Code A doesn't mean it's not a big deal. See lots of great games.
The more, I used to tell people you should go and look at TaeLS' posts about people on Twitter, pro gamers on Twitter, but I've actually found if you follow enough esports people on Twitter, in the suggestions at the top right, you'll start to see pro gamers and everything else that you might be interested in. So definitely look at that top right area. I guess for you guys, like top right's over here. It's actually like over here, like behind you.
It's kind of like
can't get all the way over there.
This side of the screen is off limits, man. Don't respect the personal bubble.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think my personal bubble is more like one of those shimmering force fields that's like around the skin.
No, I thought you were just like making like a force field joke. I was like, I don't know, man. How many times are you going to use 50 energy?
It didn't work very well. You get like force field right here perfectly.
I like get pushed away. I like fall off my seat.
I can't hear casting. We can't get to the desk. Let's get into the game before this gets any sillier. And now for something completely different. Over here at the 2 o'clock position on Metalopolis, as Wolf almost shoots water out of his nose, it is our red Protoss player from the team MVP. How's he going to do this game? We're going to find out he is.
MVP TaeLS.
Based on the intro videos they did for the last Code A, I think that he's a fan of the Sonic character TaeLS.
I would hope so, because that's pretty much the coolest TaeLS in existence. And here we have another T-named player from the Terran Heavy Team Slayers. It is TaeJa. And I wonder what his name means. I actually don't know.
I don't know either.
Twitter, get on that. So, close air positions here on Metalopolis. And what that means remains to be seen. Sometimes players decide to kind of take advantage of their position. Sometimes they just kind of play it standard. It is a little bit tougher to go, heavy macro style, play passive and then engage down that narrow corridor between the Xel'Naga Tower and the void between the bases. So usually you see some sort of harassment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Void Ray all-ins are quite prevalent on this map. I don't think that's what we're going to see from TaeLS, but it's entirely possible.
It's kind of a bad angle for that. It's kind of the worst position, but it is still very popular.
The thing you can do with Void Ray all-ins on Metalopolis, I know I've told you guys this so many times, but if you're a newer player, if you just don't pay attention to what Wolf says normally, you can poke with the Stalkers and the Void Ray at the mineral line on this map, as well as hit, of course, the bunker, the production facilities walling off.
Yeah, well, I suppose doing that type of build in these positions lets you kind of harass from the back and also harass from the front at the same time if you have good enough multitasking to do it, which I would imagine most of these players do. The GSL?
I don't think TaeLS is going to try to do that against TaeJa. It's possible, but
he's a bit worried.
Yeah, I mean, when you get nervous, and we know he's nervous, we've been told that he's nervous, sometimes you do things like that. It looks like he chrono boosted out his first Zealot. That Zealot is way out there.
Yeah.
And it's not really going to work out given that there's a wall off here.
SCV is stealing minerals, Wolf.
That's not appropriate.
No.
It's just not something you should do.
So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, he's going to be able to wall that off.
Yep. It is kind of difficult to micro 2 Marines against the Zealot, so rather wall off and lift the supply depot than deal with that.
Now, interestingly enough, he was not able to see that his opponent took a gas.
Oh.
So see how that goes. Yeah. Second gas being taken here for TaeLS.
Yep. And a factory right away.
Reactor as well as the second gas.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think
we're
going to see Banshees again?
What did we watch last game, man? I think we're going to see a repeat.
I think
see if TaeLS figures out what to do here. He's going to poke up here with these Stalker. I really like this.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit of damage to the bunker. If he had targeted down the SCV, this could have gone a lot better, though. And as it stands, just damage the bunker that's going to be repaired later anyways.
A little bit surprised he didn't actually target down the SCV.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Could have actually done a lot of damage with that.
Yeah. Making a Nexus here. He doesn't know what's going on.
I think every time a Terran does this build, Wolf gets a little bit more angry.
I mean, it's not about imbalance, or it's not about this build's too strong. It's just about when processors aren't sure what's going on, I think they should do a build that's safer rather than try to make a Nexus and hope that it works.
Yeah. Well, it's always the thought that it's like, well, if I can expand and hold it off, then I'll be so far ahead, but yeah, sometimes you just have to be like, all right, I need to stay on one base a little bit longer to take care of this.
And TaeJa is actually probably jumping up and down this booth, like laughing and jeering because his SCV got to install everything, only the 3 gateways, no robo. He saw the Nexus. He's like, well, I don't know if you watched last game, TaeLS, but we're going to have a repeat.
Yeah, if TaeLS so scouts the front and sees that bunker, that's usually a pretty good indication that you're going to go up against a build like this.
It's an indicator that you need to find out what's going on before you make a Nexus.
It's also true.
It's very, very difficult to do any build with the Nexus against this type of Banshee Marine tank timing attack.
We need to have like a seminar with you.
I actually will. I mean, I told you guys to look at Artos' video. It's a different type of situation, but it's like the same type of opener you should do where you scout if you're not sure. If you scout a tech lab on a barracks or no gas, then you can do anything you want. But if you scout gas, then you don't know what he's doing, and you have to be prepared for what he's doing.
And TaeJa needs to be pretty careful here. He doesn't want to take too much damage on his Banshee just yet. Wants to save those for later, save them for a rainy day. You know, it actually is, I think, raining on Metalopolis. It's just hard to see. Like, if you zoom in on the streetlights, it kind of looks like rain is falling. Like, zoom in on the streetlights.
Where are the streetlights? I'm, like, trying to find them.
Yep, see? Right there.
Oh, yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, it actually is kind of raining on Metalopolis. What do you know? The more you know, huh?
Well, he's actually going to attack right now, which I think is really cool. This isn't the normal attack.
Yeah, it's
He's just going to go with... He's going to go very fast because he knows he's been able to see everything, and what he sees is that there actually is nothing. Let me give you guys some unit counts here. 4 Stalkers and 3 Sentries against 2 Siege Tanks, 14 Marines, and 2 Banshees. Make that 2 Sentries.
Oh.
Hold the sauce because this game is not going to last much longer, I don't think.
Oh, he's actually going after the Stalkers too. Picks off another Stalker and doesn't lose a single Banshee. I like that he pulled back his other units while he was doing that. He has a chance to repair those now.
I'd love to see him just pull 5 SCVs and end this game. I'm just being like, Chloe, you're so dead. TaeLS, you're so dead. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like TaeJa like 1As and like goes and like leaves the booth and he still wins. I don't know what to tell you guys.
He's gonna like sit down with us and talk about his game as it's.
He's like, now watch as his stalkers die to my siege tank and Marines. Now he's bringing the SCVs. He decided that 6 was a better idea than 5. I guess he's thinking a little bit differently than me.
Well, 6 naturally is a larger number than 5.
Well, there's no siege mode. It's almost done. Targeting down probes here with Banshees. It only takes 2 Banshees to kill a probe, but he's using 3. He's like super killing them.
Why not? The super kill.
They're like so dead it's not even funny. They were never alive in the first place. Look at that, killing a Stalker. Just doing this so right.
It's like that. It's like Balefire from the Wheel of Time series. It erases them from the pattern of history even.
I actually read some of those books when I was a kid. I don't remember anything about them, though. I read them when I was in, like, 5th grade.
And, like, that was one of the top 10 nerdiest Doa references of all time.
I don't remember anything about those books, though. Look at this. He's going to try to use the Immortals on the high ground, but that's not going to work. I mean, he kills a tank, but Banshee targets down the Immortals. The Zealot's falling very quickly here to Marines. Now the tank's going to do the work on these Stalkers. TaeJa down on supply, but I still think he's going to be in great shape here. But has he overextended himself? Has he been a little bit too passive?
Oh, if he picks up
this doing so much damage to those Stalkers on the ramp.
Yep. And yeah, TaeJa's looking pretty good. Some Zealots coming in right now, so the Marines not really taking much damage. The Zealots going through that narrow choke, and it looks like it's going to be GG.
I mean, TaeJa didn't even engage this just right, and he still won. GG. I don't know what else to tell you guys.
Wolf like turns to me, like puts up his hands. He's like, "What am I supposed to say?" Salty Protoss tears.
It's not even about the race. It's just like you shouldn't play this way.
TaeJa's like, "Lol."
He's laughing, man. He's like, "I'm sorry, you just didn't see what I was doing."
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's a really, really hard build to hold against. And TaeLS knows it. He's like, man, if I would have collected more rings, I could have just run around the map really fast, counterattacked him.
He like actually fell down on the spikes. That's like actually what doing this build is like. You know, there's sometimes there's like there's the pits that aren't like bottomless pits. There's spikes at the bottom of them in Sonic, and you fall down, and you lose all your rings, and you jump, and you try to grab a few, but you can't get out of the pit, so you lose all your rings again. And you try to grab a few, and you lose them all again, and eventually you just die.
It's like a slow death, or you bounce and you lose all your rings, but then you hit the spikes again before you get any more rings. So it's like bounce, and then you have this much time to think, oh no, I'm going to die, and then you die.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's a much more brutal game than like Super Mario Brothers or something where it just like you fall off the screen. It's like and you're like, oh shucks.
And you like watch all your rings go.
With
like,
Sonic,
like
you
bouncing
feel
around and stuff.
Yeah.
You can only 20 rings come out max though, right? If you have like 100 rings, for example.
I don't know.
I think it's 20
so.
max that come out. So you can't, even if you don't lose not all of your rings are all over the screen. That'd be funny, but
I don't think the Sega could handle that much stuff on the screen at once. And which brings us to, I'm going to segue from that statement and say,
segue from Sega.
Oh, maybe. Or I'm going to go, can TaeLS handle everything that TaeJa's going to put on the screen against him?
I don't know. We're about to find out, man.
I think his G-Skill RAM can handle it, but can he handle it, Wolf? I don't know. I'm not so sure.
TaeJa is Dr. Robotnik. He's the Eggman. The Eggman comes out like Eggman was inside of one of those Banshees. He's coming, and TaeLS is trying to jump on him, but he keeps swinging the little chain and the ball. Sometimes
you have to hit him from the bottom, too.
Yeah. Because he's got spikes on the top for whatever reason.
I don't know. Vary it up a little bit. I don't know why you'd put, if you're flying over something, if you put spikes on the top. He's worried about, of course, if someone jumped on the top of you last time, you'd be like, oh man, I'm not letting that happen. Change things up a bit, spikes on the top, but then you're vulnerable on the bottom.
He just needs a force field. That's what Dr. Robotnik needs. He needs a barrier. Sonic can jump on top of a TV, then he gets a force field. What's Dr. Robotnik's trying to do all these scientific things, but he can't figure it out? Sonic just jumps on top of a TV and he gets a shield. Sometimes those shields attract rings. Sometimes it makes he gets fancy shoes and runs faster.
I don't know, man.